Let's be honest for a second. Most of us, we spend our lives feeling, well, completely fragmented. Your body might be sitting at your desk, but your mind, oh, it's scattered across a dozen open tabs, a mountain of unanswered emails, and that constant buzzing hum from your phone that never, ever stops. You feel so busy, right? But you're not actually moving anywhere.
It's like you're a light bulb. You're casting this soft, weak glow in every single direction, but you're not really illuminating anything important. To do something that actually matters, something exceptional, you have to stop being a light bulb and become a laser. You have to learn how to build a sacred fortress for your mind.
In this scattered state, it's just the default mode for most of us now. We spend our days pretending to multitask, jumping from our phones to our inboxes, back to our actual work, and we never really go deep on anything. We're just caught in this endless loop of being busy, not being productive.
This really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's that feeling of being on a treadmill. You're putting in all this effort. You're sweating, you're exhausted, but you haven't moved forward a single inch. When your mind is split, your momentum is completely gone. So why? Why is this scattered way of living so incredibly inefficient? Well, the answer isn't just about willpower. It's actually baked into our biology. See, there's a ghost in the machine that pops up every single time you try to switch tasks. Psychologists actually have a name for this. They call it attention residue. What it means is, when you jump from checking an email back to writing a report, a part of your brain is still chewing on that email. These little mental ghosts, they just cling to your focus and create this massive cognitive drag that slows you right down. And this is exactly what it feels like, right? It's like trying to run through water. Every single time you switch your attention, you're forcing your brain to wade through all the gunk left over from the last thing you were doing. It's absolutely exhausting, and it makes real progress feel impossible.
So the solution is to stop all the switching and to start locking in. I want you to imagine your attention is like a huge, high-powered spotlight in a pitch-black room. Hyperfocus is the act of locking the gears on that spotlight and aiming it at one single important target.
The math on this is just brutally simple, but it's so profound. I mean, think about it. When you split your mind between 10 different things, each one gets a pathetic 10% of your brain power. But when you lock in, you give one thing 100%, all of it.
Now, here's the really crucial part. The result of that 100% focus isn't just a little bit better, it's exponential. A task that might take you 3 distracted hours could get done in 1 focused hour. But you don't just work faster, you work deeper. You start to see connections and patterns that the scattered mind is completely blind to.
Okay, so that sounds great, but how do you actually do it? How do you get into that state on command? Well, entering this fortress of focus isn't about luck. It's a deliberate process. You got to think of it like a strategic siege. So, let's just quickly walk through this siege plan. First up is clarity. You have to pick one super specific, meaningful target. Next is intention. Decide exactly when and where you're going to do the work. Third, environment. You have to kill every possible distraction, both physical and digital. Fourth is the entry. That's pushing through the initial resistance. Fifth is protection. Once you're in the zone, you defend it like your life depends on it. And finally, time boxing. You work in focused sprints, not endless, draining marathons.
Now, that entry phase, that's the hardest part. For the first 10, maybe 15 minutes, your brain is going to scream at you for a distraction. It wants a quick dopamine hit from your phone, from your email, anything. This is the threshold. If you can push past that itch without scratching it, the spotlight steadies, and that's when deep focus really begins.
But here's the really counterintuitive twist. You can't stay locked in that fortress forever. Your focus is like a battery, and it's finite. It needs to be recharged. So true productivity also requires a ritual of return.
So, if you can't keep up that laser-like intensity all day long, what's the alternative? You just give up and go back to distraction? No, not at all. You just have to be as deliberate about your rest as you are about your focus. And this is where something called scatter focus comes in. It's the other half of the equation, the essential partner to hyperfocus. It's the act of deliberately letting your mind wander. Taking a walk, having a shower, just staring out the window at a tree. You're basically giving your conscious mind a break.
And while your conscious mind is taking a rest, something incredible starts to happen. Your subconscious mind quietly gets to work, connecting all the dots and processing all that complex information you gathered during your focus session. This is what recharges your focus battery.
It's not empty time, it's where those amazing aha moments of insight are actually born.
When you finally master this cycle, this rhythm of intense focus followed by deliberate rest, it becomes way more than just a productivity trick. In the world we live in today, it is a powerful, almost unfair, competitive advantage. It's basically the Mamba mentality for your brain.
I mean, just think about the greatest performers. Kobe Bryant could tune out the noise, the screaming crowd, even the pain, until there was nothing left but the basket. Usain Bolt could shut out the pressure of breaking world records to focus only on that first explosive stride. That is hyperfocus in action.
It really all comes down to this one idea. In a world that is literally designed from the ground up to fracture your attention into a million pieces, the ability to consciously direct it, that is a superpower. The person who can sit in a room and truly, deeply focus on one important thing is just operating on a completely different level than everybody else.
So here's the takeaway. It's time to stop juggling all those fragments of your attention. Stop being a light bulb. Pick one thing that truly matters to you, give it your full, undivided spotlight, and build your sacred fortress around it.